Hey there, villagers. So I had more videos discussing this whole tariff situation that will be implemented on January 2025. So I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you did not see part one, please go check it out. So without any further ado, here is part two of TikTokers reacting to tariff. So let me know what you guys think down below. And yeah, let's get started.
Your first chart shows the tariffs are like a national sales tax. How does that work?
Yeah, Willie, look, the most important thing for anybody to take away from this is exactly that. Tariffs are like a national sales tax. They add to the cost of goods, whether it's 10%, 20%, 100%, 200%. But don't believe me. Let's look at some history here. Trump actually imposed a bunch of tariffs, as you'll recall, including on laundry machines. Back in January of 2018, he put a tariff on a laundry machine, average cost $750. It added $200 to the cost of the laundry machine. But then President Biden allowed that tariff to expire. And so what happened? The price of laundry machines fell by $75, which meant that the increase in laundry machines, which had way outstripped inflation, actually ended up being lower than the average inflation rate in the rest of the country.
Donald Trump has broken his second promise to the American people before being inaugurated. Now, Donald Trump claimed that the tariffs he plans to put on all imports coming into the country will be paid by foreign countries. They won't be paid by American companies, American citizens, and they definitely won't cause price hikes. And once again, I brought the receipts. Take a listen.
A tariff is a tax on a foreign country. That's the way it is, whether you like it or not. A lot of people like to say, oh, it's a tax on us. No. It's a tax on a foreign country.
Yes. A tariff is a tax on an American company importing a good. Why he doesn't know that or he's just lying is beyond me. But now the Wall Street Journal is reporting companies ready price hikes to offset Trump's tariff plans. Americans, not foreign countries, will pay the tariffs. Yes, Trump supporters, he lied to us. Promises made, promises broken. I told you I would be here, and we are only just getting started.
We could build factories on every fucking corner of America, put them where the malls used to be. But you know what? They're still going to be filled with machinery and tooling that has to be sourced from all over the fucking world. Some things custom, some things specialty, some things we don't make here because it's fiscally impossible to do. You think we're just going to like drag and drop like SimCity? Oh, factory now. Where do you think all the shit that comes into a factory comes from? You think a supercenter, Walmart supercenter is big? Think 10 of those. Now, where are you going to get all the machinery that people have to use, assemblers, all of that? You think all of that is American product? We would have to build factories for the things that we make in other factories.
Good morning, Pennsylvania. I heard you found out today you're not getting that annual holiday party anymore, huh? And nor are you getting that holiday bonus. Yeah. Because your employers had to sit down this morning and tell you how tariffs work. And you didn't know, I guess. So you've got a lot of research to start doing on this man, Donald Trump, that you voted for, because you're going to be in a bit of a shocker, okay? All right? If you're this far behind, I don't know how you got here at this point. I don't even know how you're still alive, okay? So start doing your research, Pennsylvania. You know, we've got a lot that's going to be happening over the next 4 years, and I want you to be best prepared, you know, because I have to be. So why don't you have to be? Yeah. So hurry up before a hurricane comes your way, too. You know, my prayers have been coming true lately, so hate to see you on the wish list.
So a year from now, when everything is super expensive, more expensive than it is now, because we're all paying for the tariffs that he's going to impose on all of these countries, on their imports, right? Okay. When that happens, who will they blame? They have the Senate and the House, so who will they blame?
Okay, let me explain what a tariff is. A tariff is a tax when you import something in. So basically, I was a import and export checker at FedEx, for instance. Let's use that example when I was scanning documents. So when something comes in, it clears customs, and then we sort it for delivery. But when it goes to customs, duties and taxes are assessed. So basically, those are pretty much tariffs. So say, for instance, I import in a large shipment of candle jars, candle lids, labels, candle wicks, and anything else I need for my candle business. My candle accessories are made in China. My wick trimmers, my candle snuffers, importing all that in. And so when it comes in, I'm charged say Trump imposes his 50% tariff. Let's do 50%. So basically, that my company pays that tax, that 50% tariff. Okay, and so when I start producing my candles through my manufacturer, because they're going to be getting stuff imported too, and then they're going to pass on the tariff to me for making those candles, and then I'll have to turn around and pass that tariff on to you when I sell you a candle. So basically, if you thought that was going to save you money, no, you're going to be paying more money out of your pocket, and that's how that works.
Do you acknowledge that imposing more tariffs will ultimately cost consumers?
Well, what it really does is it penalizes importers from bringing goods outside the country into the country. And I think that's just a necessary thing. We know that China and a number of other countries are using effectively slave labor to undercut the wages of American workers. Donald Trump thinks that has to stop. And again, what Kamala Harris is saying, Kristen, is that if you do this, you're somehow going to cause skyrocketing inflation. In reality, Donald Trump already did it. He brought a lot of jobs back, and it didn't cause inflation.
Wow, JD Vance, this is a hot take about tariffs, but let's go through some of what you said about that. You said, and I quote, tariffs penalize importers from bringing stuff outside of the country into the country. But that just fundamentally ignores how tariffs work from an economics 101 perspective. There are different kinds of tariffs, but when we look at the Trump tariffs of 2018 and 2019 that Trump has said he will continue, these tariffs were taxes levied on thousands of products that were imported into the United States worth around $80 billion. It is not the country importing the goods into the United States that ultimately pays the tariffs. It is the consumers who, when they go to the store, see that an international good is more expensive and choose to purchase it anyway. They are the ones paying the tax. This literature review on the effects of tariffs finds that exporters bear virtually none of the burden of these price hikes. Let's go to the second point that JD made. In that interview, he said that the Trump tariffs increased employment and didn't increase inflation. That's just factually not true. This 2021 study found that the Trump tariffs cost the United States almost 250,000 jobs. Now, this study finds that if the trade war escalates, which Trump has said he would do, it could cost US GDP almost $1.6 trillion over the next 5 years. When we look at the specific industries affected by these tariffs, agricultural, manufacturing jobs, this study finds that there were no employment effects, so it didn't create jobs, but it also didn't decrease them. However, this economic study from the Federal Reserve Board found that these manufacturing jobs decreased by 1.4% when tariffs were imposed. So while the results of these economic studies differ a bit, there are virtually no studies that find that tariffs increase employment. Now, the last thing is, do tariffs increase inflation? And I'll be honest, the results on this are a little bit more uncertain. We find here that Goldman Sachs estimates that for every percentage point increase in the tariff rate, there is a 0.1% increase in consumer prices. However, this found that tariff increases did not cause inflation. But now, I will be honest, a lot of this has to do with the assumptions you make about who bears the cost of the tariff, how much the tariff is passed on to consumers versus businesses. What's clear is JD Vance clearly does not understand how tariffs actually work and is misleading, saying that tariffs increase the amount of jobs built to the US, because that's factually not true. Definitely an interesting week in the world of TV news. If you have any questions, let me know.
Hey everyone, my name is Chris, aka the Public Policy Dude, and in my previous video I argued that Donald Trump's proposed tariffs would be disastrous for American consumers because they would raise prices on lots and lots of goods. And so this kind of begs the question, what is Donald Trump trying to accomplish with these tariffs? Well, he has said that he wants to use them as a way to protect American companies from foreign competition and also to raise revenues. Well, this is all fine and good, except that it's really difficult to design a tariff that accomplishes both of these goals. On the one hand, Trump could conceivably set a tariff high enough to bring the number of imports down to zero, which of course would offer maximal protection to American companies, but it would raise absolutely zero revenue. On the other hand, Trump could set much lower tariffs, which would have the effect of raising revenues, but it would expose American companies and American workers to foreign competition. So all in all, Donald Trump's proposed tariffs would be a disaster for American consumers, and there's no guarantee that these tariffs would accomplish the goal of protecting American workers and raising revenue.
The local retailers that you've been supporting for years that are in your community, the local clothing shop, the local sporting goods store, the local knick-knack store that carries all the candles and all the goodies and funky gifts that you like to buy, their costs for everything they sell, or most of the things they sell, could go up by 60%. And unfortunately, when you raise your prices, again, the Grinch doesn't understand how economics work, but when the tariff increases the cost of their goods, the things that they sell, and they have to raise the price to match the tariffs, are they going to sell as much?
Tariffs are a really bad idea, especially for Missouri. Tariffs hurt farmers. Here's why. When we do tariffs on other countries, it doesn't matter what we're doing the tariffs on, they tend to retaliate with their own tariffs, and they tend to focus that retaliation on our agricultural exports. So when we do broad tariffs against other countries, it hurts farmers, which means it hurts a ton of Missourians.
Thanks for getting this far on the video, you guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Once you do, you automatically become a member of this village, and stick around for part 3. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.